Good morning, everybody. I'm in the Rafaella Sirena, the International Product Manager for Building Automation in Carlo Gavazzi. So today I'm going to explain you what is our vision in building automation. As many of our predecessors I had during these days has pointed out, for sure the driver for building automation is energy efficiency, is one of the main drivers. And IoT as well, so connecting data, all the data available. So the largest area for energy savings in buildings for sure are HVAC and lighting. And where we are focusing much today is mainly lighting. So the savings we can reach is around 40% with the right algorithms, with the right control, with the proper type of selection of controls, right? And as we know, more and more we have rules that are pushing for this type of automation because it's the only way to reach savings when we speak about energy efficiency. So it's a very good driver that also regulation in many countries in different ways are in some way promoting to have the final result, building automation. So how can we manage the reduction for the energy bills? There are many types when we design lighting controls. Of course, using standard protocols like DALI, it's a very good solution, very flexible, where we can add a lot of logics. What are the logics that we can add? For example, energy harvesting, so constant light control in order to have the light always constant according to the outdoor light, not to waste energy when it is not needed. So the most important thing is that very often we control the part, removing the controls for the human beings that sometimes forget, of course, to switch on and off the light. So now everything is done in an automatic way. So the same logics can also do sunrise and sunset calculation, and again, switch the light when it's really needed in the night and in the morning with no need to any manual activities, and also to add schedulers, real-time clock, PIR sensors, presence sensors. All these logics together with also the zone controls, because in a room, of course, maybe near the window, you do not need the same light that you can need in a more internal area of the room. So again, also, zone control is one good point to save energies with the proper algorithm. And of course, switching on and off light when it is really needed, when people are there in the room. According to different calculation we have done, so we save, if you can see in the graph, we can save a lot of energy because the green part is what we are going to remove as consumption. So we have what we have called a constant light, just only when it is really needed. So in this case, we just switch on the light when it's dark, then in an automatic way we follow what is happening outdoors, so we switch off the light and then on again in the end. So this is the final result of what is doing, and this area is what we save. That can go up to 30-40% according to the building. But when we speak about efficiency, it's not only energy efficiency, but it's also people efficiency. And now LED's technology is getting better and better, controlling the color of the light, but also the temperature of the white in order to simulate what is happening with this sunlight. So usually when we look at what is happening in the sky, we have a more yellow light at sunrise and sunset, while we have more light blue light at midday when we need to be energized and to do all our activities. So now LED Technologies is trying to reproduce this. If you had the chance to visit all threes and all four, there are a lot of manufacturers that are delivering this kind of solutions. Some of them are deliver all their product with what we call tunable white, or human-centric light, or biodynamic light. We can define it in different ways, but the concept is always the same, to try to reproduce what is happening outdoor. Because something like 100 years ago, we were used to live outdoor, so we were more in the outdoor environment, and we could feel a little bit better, but also when you stay here in this close environment with the same light the whole day, in the evening we can feel very tired. And as I told you before, now LED manufacturers are pushing a lot this kind of technology. Prices are getting lower and lower. And they are, of course, good drivers for this kind of technology, since they are everywhere. So also the control part now has to follow what is the lighting part. So if LED manufacturers are producing tunable white products, of course, from the other side, we need to control. And how can we do this? We can do this in very different ways. So we can have schedulers, we can have just push buttons to change the colors, and we have also many studies in universities, in different kind of researches association that are now checking and documenting how the effects of light can also influence our working ways. So we can improve productivity, we can improve our welfare, create a different kind of atmosphere according to what we are doing in a special room. So for example, in the afternoon, when we have just launched, when maybe we are a little bit, we would like to go and have a small rest, we can change the light to a more light blue light to energize people. So we can define with different algorithms in a very simple way and say, okay, at 8 o'clock, maybe we need 4 kilo Kelvin, so something in the middle. Then we need a meeting, a workshop, so maybe a more relaxing atmosphere, more yellow, so around 2.5 kilo or 3 kilo Kelvin, and then after lunch again more energized to, I don't know, to improve a presentation result or something like that, so a more light blue. So we can define for each time of the day what is the perfect temperature for our light. The same in schools. We can improve concentration, improve learning, create again a dynamic environment, match the lighting with the learning curve. And again, the teacher in the room, just with a push button, can select the perfect color, the perfect temperature to have the best result from her pupils, from her students. And another important environment where we can have a lot of benefit with the tunable white, so with the dynamic color of the light, is healthcare environment. Could be retirement house, could be hospitals, could be nursery home, and in all this kind of application, we can really document a shorter recuperation time and improve patients' sleep pattern. More, they can find the better way also when they are they meet with parents, with relatives, the right atmosphere, more yellow, more comfortable, while maybe for visiting them, more light blue. So every time we can find the perfect atmosphere to follow the recuperation time. And again, we can define a curve, we can define different type of color with the schedulers, just say, okay, 9 o'clock, this is the best situation, I can check, but then if I have to change manually, I can also press a button, change it manually to a different color. And of course, colors has to be also changed with dimming, because if you have a very light blue light, also maybe dimming could improve a more light can improve the energizing of people. So overall, the solution we present is one central unit with all the logics, but that is an open platform to connect to many open buses. We are focusing on the DALI part to have everything on DALI, push button sensors, and of course the drivers for the light. But in case we need to control also temperature, to control CO2, because also CO2 is very important in an efficient environment, of course we can add this kind of sensor. And if we need a supervision level, BACnet, of course, is a master to connect to all the DDC controller or BMS system for the management level. When we speak about control, so we have manual control with different kind of push button, hand push button, cost-saving push button according to the type of requirement, and then of course remote control via iPhone devices of any PC-based or smart devices with a very catching user interface and very easy user interface. This is an example for a school where the teachers can just click on focus. If you want to have a very good attention from her pupils, or calm, a more quiet environment, maybe for art or this kind of solution. So we are really promoting this kind of controls because the benefit we see are much greater than the cost that are behind it. Okay? I think that I have finished for this presentation.